Welcome to the Life with Joey Calvo podcast. I am Joey Calvo. Today we were supposed to have a guest by the name of Keeper Catran-Whitney on the podcast in reference to him being an author. Unfortunately, he did not arrive. Hopefully during this live podcast, he may pop up. If he does, it'll be great. Then we can have the actual conversation. And so, bear with me one moment. So, and thank you so much for your patience, everyone, in reference to it. So usually, like I said, we have a guest on. And unfortunately, like I said, I gave him ample time. So I apologize that this started later than it was supposed to be. So today, I'm going to chat about, again, this podcast's number one fan, number one supporter, and she's a real life superheroine. No secret identity. Again, like I said before, I've taught. She always has questions, and so I'm gonna again introduce you to American Fox. This is American Fox. She is a real life superheroine, like I said. She goes out and fights crime. She looks like Wonder Woman. Let me do this a minute. Let me try to. There we go. Give you a better idea of what she really looks like. She is a real life superheroine, like I said, and she fights crime. And she is always looking for real people to chat superheroes with. She is an Amazon like Wonder Woman. As you can tell, the only difference between her costume, her uniform, and Wonder Woman is, of course, that she's got the pants as compared to Wonder Woman having shorts, and the bustier is, of course, different, as well as the arm cuffs and the tiara are totally different. I've gotten to know American Fox personally for over a year, coming up to a year and a half already. And one thing I will say is you cannot find more of a best friend than American Fox. If it wasn't for American Fox, this podcast would have been over with, or could have been over with. She is amazing, and she makes my life more positive. Sometimes I don't show it to her because I'm learning things as it's been going on. But I definitely will tell you, and matter of fact, I'm going to do this, like I said. So, I've gotten to know an American Fox for over a year now, and as we chat, you learn more about who she is, her powers, her weaknesses. I mean, everything you could learn about her, as long as you are in a positive vibe with her, she will chat with you. She would be happy to chat with you. And I've had that pleasure, like I said, for over a year. I am blessed that she's been there and being this podcast's number one fan, number one supporter, as well as being a real life superheroine. I mean, I could, I would talk until I'm blue in the face about American Fox to really convince you that she is the real deal. Okay? And she truly is the real deal. You talk with her if you talk to her on Instagram, if you comment on her post on Instagram or on Twitter, believe me, okay, you will actually make a new friend with American Fox. I have. I've actually learned that she has, I mean, she's been this support for this podcast. She has never given up on me because she always believes in me. She knows that I am better than who I am. And I thought I was a piece of crap. But it took someone like American Fox to let me actually see what's really going on with me, what's in my life, and why I'm who I am right now. I mean, this is the best therapy I could ever get. I can't say I would have needed a therapist or a psychiatrist. Sometimes you don't even need that. Sometimes you have to really look into what you have in your life and see that what you need is right there. And supportive. And never gives up on you. And always encourages. And as they encourage, they make you realize that, you could be their number one. And not know it. You could realize that it could wind up being more than a friendship eventually down the line. I may never know sometimes. But for right now, I should be blessed. I should be happy that American Fox is really special. I mean, she comes up with great questions. Some guests have been amazed with the questions that American Fox has brought out. Of course, like I said, I love discussing her sometimes in reference to, some of the questions. But I definitely could not be better without American Fox in my life. I could not have a real friend who, yeah, sometimes she could almost tell me what to do, but I could deal with her better than I could deal with others. I sometimes I don't know why, but I guess because I believe in her, and maybe because she knows who I really am. Excuse me a minute. Got a little bit of dry eye. I mean, I just cannot believe that, and that it's taken me all these years, and I'm 53. Okay, I'm 53 years old, and it's taken me 53 years to almost start to accept myself as a person. Okay, you want to know why? It's that person on the screen, American Fox. I could not have a better friend to chat with almost every day. And I'm always appreciative when she quote unquote, checks up on me. But at the same time, it's like I feel bad because I do too much chatting. But it feels good though, which is weird. Well, no, it shouldn't be weird. But it's appreciative. And it's taken this long for me to see it. I mean, why couldn't I have met American Fox when I was a kid? I mean, things probably would have been better back then. You know? But, like I said, I could not have met a much better person in my life. And yes, I've mentioned about a complicated relationship I've been in. This one kind of is too. But I couldn't be any much better chatting with American Fox more and relying, which is bad enough on me, which I shouldn't be doing. But to actually learn, and I'm going to go back on a little thing. Now, about 17 years ago, I was working as a residential counselor working with the mentally disabled. And my supervisor at the time, and she's one of my friends still. I mean, we barely talk, but she is still one of my friends. She actually told me the same thing that I found out today, that I was realizing today. It was catching. She was like, Joey, you hover over this one person, and I was like, well, the reason why I do that, why I've been doing that, is because he eats very fast. And when you learn about the people that you're responsible for, you got to catch some things. So to realize I was hovering and smothering the guy and try to, and not realize that to give space was hard. because if I really had really backed off and he was eating fast, I mean, I was kind of scared if he choked or if something happened to him, because then it would come back to being my responsibility. And when you're working with the mentally disabled, there's a lot of people that lots of agencies that you have to worry about in reference to if something was to happen. So, I'm sorry, I'm sweating a little bit. It's a little warm here in Philadelphia. But to understand the care that I was putting into this, into these people. And I mean, it wasn't that I wasn't getting recognized for it. I mean, the family was always happy to see me. But today I realized I was doing that to American Fox too. And I'm not taking this as a negative, because at least I'm knowing what I'm doing. And with the eyes being opened by this amazing person who has gotten to know me and for who I am. For me to see what's actually going on is just as amazing. Like I said, I could never meet a better person than American Fox. And believe me when I tell you, okay, when I tell you that American Fox is, like I said, one of the greatest people you will ever meet in your life. Truly one of the greatest people you will ever meet in your life. I really can't argue about it, because I'm living it. I'm living it. As much as I want more eventually down the line, and learning that I need to be patient about it, and realizing that sometimes I should have been out of American Fox's life for these things. But to learn that she never gave up on me for any reason, as she was sharing with me what I'm actually doing in my own life. I mean, you could never believe it. I couldn't. I literally couldn't. And like like I'm saying, it's taken me so long to make an attempt to appreciate myself and to approve of who I am. And realizing that I'm learning that I'm making a difference. I mean, that should be one reason why I should be proud of myself. But I've always told myself I've been my own worst enemy all these years. But I will definitely say that American Fox is not one of them. American Fox lets me know. And I share so much stuff with her that it gets interesting. And as it gets interesting, it encourages more. I mean, you like I said, I couldn't have a podcast fan or a podcast supporter than a real life superheroine named American Fox. On the bottom, yes, it cut out when I was putting this in. If you do reach out and chat with American Fox, let her know that you heard about it on the Life with Joey Calvo podcast. Because that lets me know that it's actually happening. That people are actually talking to her. I mean, she does talk to other people besides me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm the only one. But any new people that follow her on Instagram or follow her on X, otherwise known as Twitter, comment on her posts, on her reposts. Chat about superheroines with her. Let her know that you see these things on the Life with Joey Calvo podcast on YouTube. And as you're saying it, really do it for yourself. Don't blast her on me, about me or anything else, because American Fox is, like I can say till I'm blue in the face, is the best person I could maybe ever meet. I'm not saying the relationships I had before that were, but this relationship's a little bit different. It's intriguing. It's interesting. And plus, it's different. It's a different feeling. It's a different look. And I couldn't be any more amazed about it. And like I said, if it wasn't for American Fox, this podcast probably would have ended months ago. And we got more guests coming up. I mean, again, I apologize for the guests that we were supposed to have today. And, I sent this guest a friendly reminder early enough. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I will have Gary Hill. Give me a moment. I'm sorry. Yeah. So tomorrow night, I'm going to have Gary Hill, who's a book publisher, author, movie and music reviewer, science fiction and horror fanatic YouTuber, and he's a horror host and lover of all things spooky. That's tomorrow. And then the day after Labor Day, I just got another guest. He is from Australia. His name is Utkarsh Narang. And that is going to be at Oh, no. I'm sorry. Wrong. No. Utkarsh is actually September 9th at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Tuesday, it's Richard Sparks. That's who it is. It's Richard Sparks. And he will be on at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on September 23rd is the rescheduled podcast with Hannah Parry. So we do have some great podcasts coming up, but at the same time, these podcasts wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for American Fox being there and encourage me to keep this podcast going and encouraging me to think, to really think of how to make these podcasts better. I could not thank American Fox enough. And I really encourage you, I really do. Those that watch these YouTube videos after the podcast is over, I really encourage you. Go on X and go at American Fox 4. Okay? Follow her. Comment on the reposts. Comment on her profile picture, which is practically that picture right there. I'll show you something a little more interesting about her. All right, I had to make it very interesting. And that, just to let you know, folks, that's not the reason why I say that. Okay? There's more to that than that. But in all seriousness, she is one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. And I cannot stop thanking American Fox for everything she has been in the past year and a half. And here's one more. And like I said, she's a real life superheroine. You cannot meet anyone else like her ever. You really can't. I could not believe what has taken place over the past year and a half with American Fox. Now, you will think, Joe, you're losing your mind. She's not a superheroine. Well, you take it as what you think. To me, she is the number one fan, which I'm not lying about. She is this podcast's number one supporter. And she is a real life superheroine to me. She may not be here in Philadelphia. She does fight crime. But she's done more than fighting crime for me. And if I really look, okay, there we go. Yes. Yet this podcast should be sponsored by T-Mobile, where the Wi-Fi live stream sucks. But I've learned why. But the positive thing I can take out of this, and I'm sorry, like I said, I'm getting a dry eyes. The one thing I can say about American Fox is, like I said, she's a real life superheroine. Yes. She's this podcast's number one fan. She's this podcast's number one supporter. She's my number one supporter. Personally. She really is. She is my number one personal supporter. And I could not be any more thankful. Because the one thing I could take out of this friendship is that American Fox is actually fighting a crime for me. And that crime actually is within myself. It's the battle of myself. She has stepped in, stands in front of me like spiritual eyes, and is fighting my battle. Even though I should be fighting it. And believe it or not, I am now starting to step up and say, you know what, American Fox? I'm going to help you with this battle within myself. And we're going to defeat that negative me that I've had for the past 40 years plus, where I was telling myself I was my own worst enemy, that I'm nothing. And to realize now, in my later years, that I actually am something, that I actually am making a difference. And I could not be any more thankful to American Fox for that. And she knows how I really feel. She really does. And I'm really glad and truly happy that she has not given up on me. This is a real friend that you want. This is someone you really want to chat with and learn about. Because you may never find out. I mean, yeah, to us in society, we look at superheroes as the first responders. That's your police, your firemen, your first aiders, your Coast Guard, your military. And don't get me wrong, they're their own superheroes too. But to me, a real life superheroine that looks like Wonder Woman, that is an Amazon, no secret identity, goes out, fights crime every day, made a name of herself of it, even though most of the time she's actually behind the scenes of the society superheroes, I'll say. But I could not believe in someone who believes in me like American Fox. I may never find someone like American Fox ever again. I'm not saying the other people that have been in my life don't. But American Fox just put that belief in a different perspective. And I could not be amazed about it. I mean, I could not think of things to look forward to if it wasn't for American Fox. She knows some of them. I will say that. But I could never believe that this real life superheroine who could turn out to be your number one podcast fan and your number one podcast supporter, and even be my personal number one supporter. I would never think that I would ever meet someone in my life like this. So definitely, I implore you, even after watching these live streams, go on X. Go to @AmericanFox4. Okay? Go to her reposts. Chat with American Fox. Who knows? It may be better than me. Or if you're on Instagram, same thing. @AmericanFox12018. There is only one post of her, and that's her profile picture, which is this. And I will be happy to show it again. So just bear with me. That is the profile picture that she has on X and on Instagram. Most definitely check her out. I thank you for watching the Life with Joey Calvo podcast. Again, I apologize that our guest no-showed. I practically gave like a whole hour for this guest to show up. Definitely, like I'm saying, go on X or go on Instagram and search American Fox and chat with her and really get to know her, because you can learn a lot from American Fox. You really can. I did. And I couldn't be any more thankful. So God bless you all.